to Elisabeth Hogarth Designs. I'm looking at Craft Consortium's Fairy Wishes today. I've made the samples, which is going to be the main point of this video, and I'll go through how you can use the various elements. Because the samples are made, I only have these few papers to show you, but it will give you a really good idea on this beautiful collection that the very talented Helz Cuppleditch has created. So let's quickly run through the papers and then I'll show you what I've made ahead of the television shows on Create and Craft on the 17th of May. So this is the main 12 by 12 paper collection. I've kept one of each of the designs. You'll be able to get chipboard ephemera and decoupage sheets featuring all of these elements. So you can see you've got a selection of very pretty fairies. These toadstools really come in handy. You've got a scene here that you can build upon, and then as always you've got some fabulous background papers. These toadstools feature heavily, and these really cute lanterns, and you can see that you can build scenes. This would be wonderful for an album cover, but you can also cut out the elements and then set them up on the pattern paper. It's a real classic Helz Cuppleditch collection full of vibrant, beautifully illustrated characters. This page is particularly good for cutting out, goes really well with the different toadstools, and then you've got some fabulous background papers. So as I say, I'll point out the decoupage and the chipboard, the smaller elements that I have used as I show you each one of the samples. And again, you've got the sentiments here that can easily be cut out and used to finish off your project. I began by creating these two cards. So these are the elements that come at the front of the 6 by 6 papers, and here you can see how well they scale up on the 12 by 12 papers. So you'll get more with the 12 by 12, but you can cut the elements out, and you can see that by adding a little bit of sparkle, it will make a wonderful card fit for a little fairy princess. I've added the glitter card, I've added the numbers, but here I've put in some of the smaller sentiments just to finish off each one of the little scenes. I particularly like how these scenes are laid out, and you can build up different scenes on each one of your projects. But so that's a card for a 3-year-old with the 6 by 6, and a card for the 5-year-old with the 12 by 12. Here I've used one of the elements of the decoupage, so rather than using the plain background that you've seen me do before, I've taken one of the cutouts to make this really simple and effective card. These stamps here are from Sizzix, but they worked really well with the range, but I like that for a clean and simple card. Then I went on to a classic DL, and this is using some of those cutout papers, so it was just a matter of die cutting it onto a slimline card, then recutting some of the wings and layering them up, and I was really pleased with the way that this card turned out. Then I moved on to one of the Star Easel cards that you saw me make at Christmas. This features one of the chipboard ephemeras. So these are now self-adhesive, so you can add them directly onto your cards. But then when you stand it up, you've got a really sweet... These cards would be wonderful for invitations, but you can stand the card up like so. So you can see it on the angle, and you can lie it flat for posting. But that's a really, really cute card. And then I moved on and I made a fairy door card. Let's move these out of the way. So here, this was an old Craftwork card blank that I had. So I layered up the paper on the outside. These are all of the small elements from the decoupage. Some of it's been fussy cut out, but mostly I just plucked it from the decoupage sheets, added a little bit of glitter, and this here is one of the fabulous ladybird pieces of ephemera that can stick directly onto your project. Here you've got the stars that are another useful embellishment, and again this is another piece of the decoupage. And then when you open up the door, you've got another fairy inside, and again that's with another set of the decoupage. And again I've added some sparkle to the decoupage just to make it that little bit more magical. But there's your fairy door card inside and out. Then I moved on to making a larger card set. So this is a bag that I've created using the smaller 6x6 papers. I've added this is the chipboard ephemera, the ladybird and the star embellishments. And then as you open it up, I've got a set of cards, so you can create your own envelopes with the 12x12 papers. This is a card style that will be coming up on one of the Graphic 45 blogs very, very soon, so keep an eye out for that. But it's very effective, and you can see how the rainbow paper works frontwards and backwards. I've got the rainbow paper again on another envelope, and then these cards are all made with the same design but with the different papers. So because you've got the double-sided papers, you can use both sides to create the pattern. And then I've cut one of the 12x12 front sheets to create all of these centre elements. So it makes a really pretty gift set, and absolutely everything is made from the collection, and you can see how well it all works together. These plain papers here are part of the A4 coloured sheets that also come with the collection, and you'll see everything on Create and Craft on the 17th. So I'll pop these all back into the box. Then I moved on to some slightly more intricate projects. So here I've made one of the scenes. I've taken one of these strips of the scenes on the 12x12, added the decoupage again, and the little ladybird, of course. And then I've created a little notebook, and simply by using the stamps, you've got 2 stamp sets in the collection, I've created a little notebook and a little moving fairy. So as you flick her back, just by moving the fairy along every time, you've got a little twinkling fairy working through the book. Then I've made a slightly larger floral notebook, and again you can see the decoupage in all its glory. Here are the star elements, and then I've just created another book. The inside's covered with the rose ink drops because they coordinate beautifully, and again you've got the toadstools that come in the stamp set. So I've just added that to every page just to add a little decorative feature, and then added some pretty pink ribbons just to finish the notebook off. So that would be a lovely, lovely party gift because it's relatively simple to make. So you can imagine if you had a fairy party, you could use this as one of the party bag gifts. This was a Windows scrapbook template that I had from Oakwood Direct, and I've used a mixture of the stamps on vellum, the decoupage, and you might just be able to see that I added some gloss drops there to lift up the white dots. You've got the chipboard ephemera, and then I cut out lots of the lanterns to add this border to the top. there's a window inside, and behind it I've put one of the larger scenes of the little fairy peeking through. And then as you open it up, I've used each one of the rainbow coloured papers from the A4 collection alongside some cutouts from the 12 by 12, so you can see the range of all of the different characters. And here you can also see how well the beautiful rainbow papers emboss and ink, so you just about see the depth of the colour and how well the embossing works. So I added every colour of the rainbow, and then I decorated it with the fussy cuts. And again, it's made a really cute scrapbook that you could add any kind of memorabilia to. And then I've added the 12 by 12 paper at the back. And then here, these are embellishments that came along with the Gnomes collection, and they work brilliantly with this collection as well. So you need to look on the Craft Consortium website to track down some of their brilliant silver embellishments. These were from In the Forest and Riverbank, and you can keep them all and then just use them in your later projects. So I was really pleased how that turned out, because now you can see all the colours of the rainbow. Then we move on to a couple of projects where I've been recycling things from the kitchen. So this began life as a cupcake case holder, and I've turned it into a little tooth fairy pot. Again, just cutting out the smaller elements, and then when you lift it off, you've got the little fairy with the thimble alongside her. I've added one of the Gnomes toadstools again, and then just added baby tooth with the little cotton reel holding the chipboard ephemera in place, so you can see how beautifully all of the elements come together. That's a really simple idea. And then you can cover her up and leave her by the side of the baby's bed, ready for when the little tooth fairy arrives. And then last but not least, I'll try and turn down some of the lights. I'm hoping that you can see there's some lights inside this box. Believe it or not, it started life as a Tunnocks tea cakes box, and so I used the cellophane at the front to form a frame, and then cut the paper around it to create this scene. And you can see the toadstool scene in the background. You've got a little fairy inside. Then I've decorated the top with more of the sky and the bottom with the mushrooms. And then again, I've brought in the little lanterns so that the little fairy is surrounded by light. And again, the decoupage came in handy, so don't be afraid to cut away all of the different elements so that you can use them within your projects. And then just turn her off and put her to bed. So here we have all of the projects made with the beautiful Fairy Wishes collection. Fingers crossed they've inspired you to try the collection, try some of these ideas. Don't forget to share your makes on the official Craft Consortium network group on Facebook. Tag me in your project so that I know that you've liked what I've been making. And don't forget to also put the hashtag Craft Consortium when sharing your projects across social media, and then the guys at head office can see what you're making with their wonderful products. Enjoy the shows on Create and Craft, and of course I'll be back very soon with some more projects, so do join me then. Take care, bye bye for now.